Hello everyone, Thempire here with more new cards. We've got some really controversial ones this time. Apodrakosis, which also they tried to retranslate like 5 million times. It was very funny watching this from my hotel in Japan as they desperately tried to come up with the proper translation name for this archetype. People were very upset about this one though, because here's the whole explanation. Blah 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 blah. Who cares? People were very concerned about Protoss in this one because this is a deck that can just search worms. But you know what else can just search Protoss? Any deck with 2 level 4 monsters. I saw a lot of people theorizing that this deck is why Protoss was removed from the ban list, and I don't know that Konami has that level of foresight, frankly. It's possible because they are that greedy to do that, but I don't know. I feel like they just really like taking floodgates off the ban list sometimes. They were taking other, they're just like, okay, well, Sword Soul's not good, so let's take fucking Protoss off the list, and maybe Sword Soul will be good again. I don't know. Alright, first up we have Quaiba, Rugged Apodrakosis of Dino Crag. Level 10 Earth Dinosaur Effect Monster, 3000 attack, 12,000 defense. You only use the first, second, and third effect of this card once per turn. You can shuffle this card from your hand into the deck, add Apodrakosis, Ascension Gate of Dino Crag from your deck to your hand. During the main phase, if 2 or more cards are destroyed this turn, quick effect, you can special this card from your hand. You can place 1 face-up Apodrakosis, Ascension Gate of Dino Crag if you control on the bottom of the deck, then target other cards in the field up to the number of types among monsters on the field to destroy them. Seems fine. Next up is the Sea Serpent one, Yuanba, Abyssal Apodrakosis of Serpent Fall. Level 10 Water Monster, Sea Serpent, 3000, 2000. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card once per turn. You can discard this card, add Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Serpent Fall from your deck to your hand. They all search their specific Ascension Gate. Do you get it yet? During your main phase, if 2 or more monsters other than Yuanba, Abyssal Apodrakosis of Serpent Fall were sent from the hand or deck to grave this turn, you can special this card from your hand. This one more supports water than dinosaur specifically. Like the dinosaur one is about popping cards like dinosaurs do. This one's about sending cards from hand or deck to the grave like water does instead of just Sea Serpent specifically. Lets you special summon it from the graveyard. Then you can place 1 Gate of Serpent Fall you control on the bottom of the deck. Banish your opponent's entire hand. If you do, they draw the same number of cards. It helps with the loop in their opponent. It's like fine, it seems. I don't know. And then we have the Worm. Baba, Champion Apodrakosis of Worm Haze. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card name each once per turn. You can banish this card from your hand, add an Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Worm Haze from deck to hand. They all do the same thing there. If a monster becomes banished face up while this card is banished, and there are currently 2 or more banished monsters other than Baba, you can special summon this card. It's like based on the Sword Soul stuff. You know, the Sword Souls banish a whole bunch for Big Chungus. I think that's what they're going with here, because worms don't have really a consistent theme other than the fact that they all work together. It's weird. The worms all work together in one big pile deck, but they also don't really have a consistent theme amongst them other than like making synchro monsters, I guess. You can place 1 face of Apodrakosis Worm Haze you control on the bottom of the deck. Add Apodrakosis for your deck graveyard banishment to your hand, except for Baba. And then we have Guangba, Luminous Apodrakosis of Starforge. Level 10 Light Dragon Ritual Pendulum Effect Monster. This is part of that big fort quad typing we're doing. And this is a Ritual Pendulum, which is always fun. You can only use the Pendulum Effect this card once per turn. During your main phase, you can add an Apodrakosis. I just cannot say that very well. Apodrakosis card from your deck to your hand. That's not going to be what the name is, by the way. There's absolutely no way that's the name because you cannot say it. You cannot pronounce that word. It's a bad word. Except the Pendulum Monster, then destroy this card. So you could add any of the Apodrakosis cards except for this card and then destroy this card. You could ritual summon this card with Guangba Luminous Apodrakosis of Starforge, which is its own effect, essentially, is what it's saying. What it's saying is you could ritual summon this card with its own effect. Must be special summoned by its own effect. In fact, you can only special summon Guangba once per turn. If a monster on the field destroy a battler or effect while this card is in the extra deck, you contribute one level 10 Apodrakosis monster. And if you... I'm just going to call them... Transcend Drake. No. Yeah, these are the other ones were the Transcendosaurus. These are the Transcend Drakes. If you do special summon this card, this is treated as a ritual summon. So it is properly summoned. And you can destroy up to 2 cards you control, and if you do, place an equal number of Apodrakosis continuous spells from your deck face up on your field. Then we have the spell, the quick play spell. Not the continuous spells that are named in every card. This quick play spell is what everyone was worrying about. No, wait, this one isn't it. This is one of the later ones. Yeah, it's not this one. It's the later. I think it's the field spell actually, which is next. All right, you can use the first second effect this card before its return, and only once that turn. Add 1 Jerry monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can add 1 Jerry pendulum monster from your deck from your hand or your extra deck face up. During your main phase, if you control a Jerry pendulum monster, you can banish this card and 1 Jerry monster from your graveyard, special summon 1 Jerry monster from your deck with the same original type as the monster banished. Hold up. If you control the pendulum monster, you can banish this card and a monster from the grave. Okay, I get it now. It just lets you recycle one of the ones that was in grave. Cool. Seems fine, but you have to control the pendulum monster. This lets you get the pendulum monster out easily, and then also adds the card. So it seems like worth playing just for the search. Okay, then we have the field spell. Apodrakosis Jerry Ascension Crest of Transmigration. You can only use the first and second effect of this card name once per turn. When this card resolves, take 3 monsters from your deck, 1 dinosaur, 1 sea serpent, 1 worm. Add 1 of them to your hand, banish 1 other, and send the last to the graveyard. Also, you can't special summon for the rest of the turn except for dragon, dinosaur, sea serpent, and worm monsters. Now, this is a powerful effect. This is a powerful effect. I feel like this is a particularly bad one. It's just got a bad mouthfeel, right? Like, yeah. There are other archetypes that other people might struggle to say, but I'm struggling to say this one, and I'm usually pretty good at these. Apodrakosis is not nearly as bad as Dogmatic Calamity or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't. It's like it's supposed to be a pun on Apocalypse, but Drac is not a pun on Apoc. And then it ends with Osis for some reason. Anyways, it's a very powerful effect. People are right to be thinking about this as a very powerful effect. I just don't think that this grabbing Protoss is like going to be the worst thing that is capable of in Yu-Gi-Oh! Considering you can literally use any 2/4s to get into Protoss. That's just the facts of the matter. But it is very powerful. Do not get me wrong. And it also can set up some interesting stuff. There was I did see someone say like you can banish Giant Rex off of this, and then you get the Giant Rex summon, which is pretty cool. And then you gotta have a Sea Serpent though. You gotta have a Sea Serpent in there somewhere. It's like you add Protoss to hand, you banish Giant Rex, and then you just have a Sea Serpent brick. If you have a face-up Guangba in your extra deck, you can special summon up to 3 Apodrakosis monsters with different types. 1 each from deck, graveyard, or banishment. Interesting. Alright, and here we have our gates. This is Dino Crag. You can only control 1 Dino Crag. Jerry monsters you control gain 300 attack. Jerry pendulum monsters and level 10 or higher monsters' original type is dinosaur. You control gain this effect. By the way, can you think of a level 10 or higher dinosaur monster? Let's fucking go! Ultimate Conductor Tyranno! Once per turn, when the effect of a monster on field with less attack than this card is activated, which, by the way, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno has 3,500 attack, and it will gain 300 attack. So it'll be 3,800 attack. Every monster on the field will be can be affected by this. This allows you to place one Apodrakosis continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck to negate the activation. So, a very small Apodrakosis engine could theoretically be used in Dinosaur. All you would really need is like the ritual monster, which can search, and the effect monster, which can search. So it seems like a pretty small package to just get a free negate in Dinosaur. Then we have Serpent Fall. You can only control one Serpent Fall. Your Jerry monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Jerry Pendulum monsters, level 10 or higher monsters. Original type is Sea Serpent. Your control gain this effect. This one is like for no one, except for this exact deck right here you see right in front of you. During your opponent's turn, you can place one Jerry continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck, then target one card on the field, return it to the hand. Okay. And then we have the Worm one, Worm Haze. You can only control one. Any monster sent from the field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn is banished instead, which is pretty fucked up that they just have like Macrocosmos on your opponent's turn. And this one, the fact this one only does attack is kind of funny, but it does have the add the negate. So, and then of course, if you have the Pendulum monster or level 10 or higher monster's original type is Worm, which there's quite a few of those as well. You can place a face-up Apodrakosis continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck. Target one face-up monster in the field, changes attack to 0, which could actually come up in Sword Soul. Actually, like Sword Soul could actually use that for winning, like for clearing out a game, considering that Chungus can get really fucking big. So I could actually see that being pretty useful. As for like this deck as a whole, I don't know. I'm curious about it. It seems interesting. I feel like it's going to be better picked apart for pieces for other decks, right? I feel like the Worm Haze stuff is going to be good in Sword Soul. I feel like the Dinosaur stuff is going to be good in Dinosaur. I feel like the Serpent stuff is not going to be good in anything. And I feel like the deck as a whole has potential, but I'm not sure about its like power level as a whole. It's going to depend on what you can do with these as material, because these guys on their own I don't think are doing anything. These guys on their own are just not enough. You need to be able to use them as link material for things, and it depends on what you're going to be able to make with that, right? So we'll see. We'll see how these do. I'm curious about them. I really am interested in seeing what potential there is as splashable engines. And I'm looking forward to it. I love how Oviraptor's in the art here. Oviraptor's watching this fucker. And I think you could see some recognizable Yu-Gi-Oh! Like there's there's Air Orca over there. There's other recognizable ones in here. I guess this is like the Lost World, and I don't recognize any of these other dinosaurs, but I'm sure they're something. And then is that Chow Fang? There's definitely some other recognizable worms in the art here. So I like that. I like the little touches of that. It's cool. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what these cards do. Definitely has potential for some stuff for sure. Yeah, that's what I think about these ones. Hey there! Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Why don't you leave a comment down below to tell me what you think about these cards or anything I might have missed. And like, share, subscribe, and maybe subscribe to the Patreon as well and get early access to new videos and get your name in the credits right here. Thanks to all my current patrons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.